Hey, about here. So, we got a lot of things to talk about. I want to talk about franchise, right? And what's the truth about it? Because I hear a lot of things, it's good, it's bad, about franchise mode. As somebody who's been playing franchise mode for 20 plus years now, in Madden specifically, I got some thoughts. And obviously, you're going to disagree with them. Let me hear them below. But let's go look at an overall level of franchise top down before we kind of like filter down like iceberg type of style here to the depths of what's going on. Now behind me you have their gig about what's happening this next year in 24. You see mini games that haven't had for a while. And mini games are all right. They were never like the greatest thing. I spent some times doing them. They were fun little topics. They've integrated them into franchise mode through like training camp, through week-to-week practices, and I got some thoughts about that. Like maybe like if you get a gold star something in franchise, and like you should get like a bigger bonus than just like simulating it. But sometimes there's some minor issues there with training camp and how it's balanced in that mode specifically. But overall, like, okay, let's talk about it from a top-down level first. I think the franchise mode right now is fine. Okay, a lot of people say it sucks. Some people say it's great. It's good. I think the franchise mode is really built for people that play the game week to week. Now, if you followed along this last season of my Leuven Jink franchise and Steelers on Gut Fox 4, you'll see how much fun we had there. But, like, that's the thing. I feel like the franchise is built for people that play the game every week. And, like, for online franchises, that's cool. For people that play the games, that's nice. But for people that like simming, like, my favorite franchise mode right now is Out of the Park Baseball. It's just, like, this insane spreadsheet simulator. I don't think it really holds up that well. Like, there is good things to do between the games. Sometimes you just want to get back to the game. Sometimes there's too many things going on. But, like, right now, how would you guys rate Madden 23's franchise mode? To me, I think it was, like, 6.5, 7, right? It's good. I feel like it really lacks that good hook, though, outside of the game. We're not talking about gameplay. Outside of the game, franchise does lack a little bit of the hook that I want, like, say, that NCAA recruiting gave me. Or, like, some other games, like action RPGs, like Diablo gives me with, like, looting and getting new items. Now, obviously, you can't really bring that as much into Madden unless you use some sort of, like, looting for items with, like, shoe deals and helmet stuff. And you can do things like that. Talent trees, specifically, are a major frustration for me. Just because, like, they're adding a little bit of depth, and I think that's kind of, this is, like, encapsulating franchise mode for me in Madden 24 and what they shared once I've had experience in the beta. It's adding a little bit of depth, okay? So I think if you're expecting a massive change over 23, you're going to be disappointed, right? Because some of the depth they're adding between commissioner tools, between, like, a couple more trees, like, versus going into something a little bit more, right? You see the commissioner tools behind me. Going something a little bit more in-depth with trees, they're doing an okay job of it. They're not really, like, massively overhauling it, so that way, like, there's major decision paths, and, like, you build out a character. I just talked about Diablo 4. Let's just keep on it. Like, Diablo 4's character choices are so in-depth and crazy. It's also taken them, 10, 50 years to make that game from Diablo 3, it feels like. So, like, yes, there's only so much you can do on a year-to-year basis, but I really feel like they can add a lot more depth just by, like, the trees and some of the things they add. So really, like, it's so bad and feels bad to say this, like, small step forward every year in franchise, which, to be fair, we see this when we say this about Madden every year, small step forward. But with franchise mode, for about 10 years there, I'm not joking, literally from, like, I feel like it was like 10, 11-ish, 12, in that era, to 3 years ago where they did the fixed Madden franchise move. There was literally zero changes years over years in franchise. So we are seeing small step forward since the community really did band together, and I got to give them props for that, for getting that trending, everything. Just pat yourself on the back. We are actually getting steps forward. The problem is it enough, right? Like, I could talk to Bengal, who's big on Madden franchise, about this, and I remember those years we talked about it. He's like, yeah, absolutely nothing's changed. And I was like, yeah, we can see it. Like, even behind the scenes, EA was putting literally zero effort into it, but now that they started to focus on it a little bit more, sure, there's truth to the fact that it's improving, but I feel like, we want more. It's just a thing of our life. We want more, like, these minor fine details. It's good for franchise mode. It's not great. And so, like, what I said before is, like, I had a lot of fun last year in franchise mode. But I want more. I want it to be great. Like, I don't, like, you know, it's franchise. How much overhaul do you need year over year? You don't need a ton, but I feel like you don't need a ton if you're already there and you've already sticked it. I don't think they've quite sticked it yet. Like I talked about addictive gameplay loops and franchise. I feel like, you know, you can go back and do those videos on YouTube and all the things they've removed about franchise. Oh, the Tony Bruno show. But like there's so much depth there that they've had more realistically. And like, you know, we have this, you know, attention salary cap. You can like remaneuver salary cap contracts, but there's only a button, right? There's only one button you can do to remaneuver it instead of like, you know, sliders and stuff, and they can't maybe figure it out with like the engine and the way it's done. Obviously, the increase to 6 trade slots is, dude, that should have happened 12 years. That should have happened so long ago. The fact they've only had 3. Now, I'm not going to be one of those people that criticize them for putting in a feature that should have been in the game years before. I'm just glad it's in the game now. I get that. I am a little sad that it's taken this long, but you know what? We're the present day. We're not 3 years ago now, so we're looking forward, moving forward, right? So like some of these just frustrations overall are kind of like still sticking in the community. So even though EA has shown that they're doing things, they've added an extra year of draft picks. They've, you know, they talk about in their blog around trade tuning and they all these things they've done with commissioner tools. I'll link this blog in the description if you guys want to read through it. It's a lot of like small minor things. Like I talked about, like, I don't know. It feels like I said, they need to do something big overhauled a year, like focus on something big. Now, obviously, with so many like quality of life changes, like that can change it. But after looking at that and checking it on the beta, you're not really gonna feel that different, right? You're not gonna feel that different. Some prospects are better. It doesn't change the overall feel. So the feel of the mode, while improved, relocation, like that, like I don't want to relocate the Steelers. Like it's fine. And that's kind of it, right? It's not gonna, like, the franchise hasn't changed, but like I know a lot of people had fun online. Like some games don't even have online franchise. LB the show, I'm looking at you. But I think the truth of this game is that they just don't give me enough. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard, dude. It's like okay, but is okay enough for like the billions of dollars we've given them? I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I mean, anything can be fun with like friends, right? Online and offline, it's okay. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. That's the truth. Small step forwards. As long as we don't lose our draft or our entire franchise this year, it's gonna be a major step forward. This was actually a big quality of life feature. The draft chart reordering, on and off feature for that. Thank you. Thank you. That was a major... It wasn't even a bug, but it was just annoying. Alright, that's it. The truth about franchise. It's fine. And that's the video. Terrible. Like, how middle of the road can I get?